Phyllis and Irv, some have said that Joe Theismann is cocky, but he's backing it up this afternoon, isn't he? Let's take you around the league now, get you up to date on all the scores. Atlanta and Minnesota, tough defensive game. Roland Lawrence has intercepted a couple of passes for the Falcons, 4 for the season. They are tied, the third quarter just underway at 7. And, of course, the game you're watching at halftime, Washington leading Philadelphia 20-10. Houston and Cincinnati. Cincinnati opened with John Reeves at quarterback, but to start the second half, they have changed, and Kenny Anderson is back at control. Kansas City and Cleveland. The Browns have dominated this game, and the Chiefs quarterback, Tony Adams. Darden has intercepted a pass for the Browns. He ran that in for a touchdown. The New York Jets apparently are for real. At the half, they are tied with New England at 10. Richard Todd would have the Jets ahead, except that Wesley Walker drops still another pass out in the open. Great speed, but his hands are questionable. San Diego and Miami. The Chargers leading by a point. In the first half, Clarence Duran intercepted 3 passes for the Chargers. Remember the last time James Harris played down there in the Orange Bowl for the Los Angeles Rams? He passed for better than 400 yards that Sunday afternoon. Chicago has just scored again. Walter Payton crashes over. This time they kick the extra point. 13-0 first quarter in Green Bay. Dallas Cowboys, the NFC's only unbeaten team, they lead Detroit by a field goal in the first. Los Angeles gave up a quick field goal to New Orleans, but they have come back. Pat Hayden to Harold Jackson, and now they lead it 7-3. And Phyllis, what have we got in a musical vein this afternoon?
Well, speaking of the Rams, that's a good question. A lot of fans were curious for a while. In fact, for years, Los Angeles fans have been divided over who should be the Ram quarterback. Early this season, Joe Namath was heralded to be the savior, but it wasn't until last Monday night behind Pat Hayden that the Rams looked like a Super Bowl contender again. And Los Angeles, in the voice of Barbra Streisand, is once more singing of happy days.
This is get-even day for the Cleveland Browns. Do you remember how last season ended, Kansas City upsetting them? Well, right now, the Browns lead the Chiefs by a score of 30-0. And Irv, this is defensive back day. Show me Roland Lawrence again.
Okay, down in Atlanta, the Minnesota Vikings and Atlanta Falcons in the third quarter are all tied 7-7, and defensive backs make things happen. Fran Tarkenton goes to the air early here in this first quarter, and the ball is picked off by Roland Lawrence. Number 22 makes a nifty run up the sideline here, setting up good field position for his offensive teammates along the 49-yard line. When the offense does take the field, this is what happens. Hunter going to McCreary, who's substituting for Jim Mitchell. Touchdown. Atlanta leads 7-0 in the second quarter. Minnesota comes back, however, right on the next offensive series of plays. Fran Tarkenton goes to Sammy White, 55-yard touchdown pass, all tied up in the third quarter, 7-7.
And I've been monitoring it, Irv. It's still a tough defensive game. Bob Tucker has just caught his first pass as a member of the Minnesota Vikings, but the Falcon defense is still dominating. Now let's check in on the game you're watching. Here it is. Against the Redskins, go wide. They say get to the outside with some speed. Redskins don't have speed on the outside. The problem is Smith doesn't hold on to the football right here, so Washington's got an opportunity. Joe Theismann is making the most of his day in Washington. Gene Fugit caught 3 passes for 82 yards in that first half and 2 touchdowns. That's one of them right there. Theismann a little bit later. He'll go to Danny Buggs, formerly of the New York Giants, and this play will get down to the Philadelphia Eagles' 15-yard line. And then the combination, Theismann to Fugit. Second touchdown, it was 14-0. The Eagles, though, are showing some life under Vermeil, and they didn't quit in this ball game. Here's Betterson going in. That made it 14-7, and of course it is 20-10. And Irv, what do we have out of Green Bay?
Watching that one right now, too, Brent. It's 13-0 in the second quarter. The Chicago Bears over the Green Bay Packers. And this, of course, is the oldest rivalry in the National Football League. When you have the league's greatest runner, what do? Give him the ball. Walter Payton here is averaging over 5 yards a carry. Goes down to the 5-yard line, setting up a Johnny Musso touchdown run. He goes in, and Chicago takes an early 6-0 lead. Missed the extra point. Walter Payton gets on the act again. This time he goes in, score, extra point good. Chicago leads in the second quarter 13-0.
Irv, cover me on that Los Angeles game. I think the Saints may be going in. Let's show you now what happened to the Rams. It was Pat Hayden hooking up with Harold Jackson, 18 yards, touchdown pass. See the mobility? That's the difference. The quarterback that can move has got an edge in the NFL, and he hit him down there. How are the Saints doing right now, Irv?
I'm listening, and I haven't gotten the score yet.
I gave it to you with a commercial break,
It's
right?
3rd and 1 on the 10-yard line. The Saints are threatening.
Keep it right there and tell us what's going to happen here, boys. They're stopped. It's that Ram defense. The NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.